Welcome to Requiro. Today we are going to be talking about all the gossip and rumors, grifters, people that are using Luigi Mangione's name for money or just dragging his name through the dirt for attention, clout, etc. And normally I wouldn't come on here and talk about this kind of stuff, and that's like Luigi Mangione's legal team gets involved, like the Sheen shirt scenario that happened around September, when I was closer to Luigi Mangione's September court appearance. But the reason why I'm popping on here and talking about this is just because of how much it has been happening, and a lot of the things that were coming out, it can affect Luigi Mangione's case in a big way if people aren't like paying attention and having literal thinking skills. And maybe if I make this video a little bit clickbaity, honestly I'm probably not gonna do that, but maybe people will come across this video and then watch it and then develop some like literal thinking skills, because sadly with this kind of stuff a lot of people just run with it and take it as fact and not actually do further research into these kind of things. So that's why I'm popping up and talking about this kind of stuff. So like hopefully some people out there will come across this video and develop some literal thinking skills, especially with rumors and gossip, especially in Luigi Mangione's case. And just in general, people, you guys need to do a little bit more research than 2 swipes on TikTok, okay? Also, is this dress too formal for like talking about rumors and gossip in Luigi Mangione's case? I don't know. It's like incredibly humid today. Like, this is the weather we have in Melbourne. It can be hot and lovely in spring, or it can be like freaking humid as hell and it's miserable. I do not like hot weather. Anyway, so maybe people will listen if I look like this. Dressing like this triggers something in people's brains and I have no idea why. And this is what happens when I take a month off to organize things in my life. Like, the media makes shit up and then people just run with it. The media is not doing their job. I have to like come back and talk about this and get the facts straight, okay, compared to the media. But are we surprised they're not doing their job correctly, especially in this case? This is what happens. Anyway, and we haven't really heard much from Luigi Mangione's legal team. Now, I am saying that there's been a lot of things coming out over the last week or so. I did write this script a week ago and I was planning to have this video up this week, but I tried filming it, it wasn't happening. I bought a new camera and I'm still figuring all this stuff out, and also this is a really good excuse to muck around and play with my camera and figure out how things are. Also, you guys get to see my pores in HD. That's a joke, I'm wearing makeup. Sorry, bad jokes. There have been a lot more documents and stuff appearing. We'll go over those documents in a lot more detail in my next video on this channel, and I will be officially coming back talking about Luigi Mangione's case and all the updates and all that. Again, I was just taking this month off to organize shit in my own life. So there are things I do want to note here before we get into the main part of the video that I want to bring up here. So these are the couple of things that we've heard from Luigi Mangione's legal team, like when Karen Arcafillo made a statement about all the gossip, rumors, people saying they know Luigi when they don't, and making shit up and all that. So Karen Arcafillo made a statement on Luigi Mangione's official website saying Luigi Mangione can't come out and defend himself with all this, so people just need to like stop saying that stuff and believing it and taking it as fact, because it can affect his case in a big way. Again, I'll show you guys that statement at the end of the video. And another thing also came out from Luigi Mangione's legal team, where there is a document requesting to show proof of what Luigi Mangione's mum allegedly said. If you guys remember at the start of the year, where you probably heard these words floating around, where basically Luigi Mangione's mum allegedly said to a detective saying she sees Luigi Mangione doing something like this, allegedly. And I remember when those words were floating around at the start of the year, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people also thought this too. She was more indicating more towards the hostel he was staying at, like he would be a person who stays at hostels, compared to the other thing. And basically a document came out basically requesting to show actual proof showing Luigi Mangione's mom actually said that. So again, we've heard this in the past with a detective. They do make shit up. Again, this could not be true whatsoever. This could be fake and people made up shit and run with it. Because again, when this first happened in December last year, this shit went wild and so many things floating around. Again, who knows if this was said or not by Luigi Mangione's mom, but I do find it kind of gross now. They're bringing his family into this now compared to like beforehand. Infuriating. And then also another document came out allowing Luigi Mangione to wear court approval clothing, and there is a little list of the amount of clothing he is allowed to wear, and it has been granted by the judge, so that is very exciting. Luigi Mangione is allowed to wear court approval clothing instead of being in his prison uniform like we saw in his September hearing, so that's very exciting. Hopefully we won't see him handcuffed and seeing the bruises on his wrists. I'm still surprised not many people are talking about that. Like, why did that not blow up? It should have, compared to everything else. Anyway, and sadly, Luigi Mangione still does not have the laptop. Like, I remember when Luigi Mangione was granted a laptop, that was a couple of months ago now, and he still doesn't have it. It's so close to the end of the year. Why does he still not have the laptop to look at evidence? And another thing that also came out was there is a motion written by the prosecution. It is about 120 pages. That also came out this week. I have not even started reading that yet. It's fucking long as hell. I've been talking to other people online about it and they're like, oh my god, it's so long. It is. It's incredibly daunting. So I will make a video over that. It'll just be like my other videos where I go over motions, where it's just basically a audio version of the document, but I feel like it's necessary just because of how long it is. I wasn't really intending to come back and talk about this kind of stuff, but here I am. The media's not doing their job. Are we surprised? And also, today, as me filming this video, another document has come out from Luigi Mangione's legal team, and I have not read it whatsoever. I just saved it in my little updated Luigi Mangione files. It's a little bit of a dumpster fire in there. Anyway, so today, as me filming this video, it is the 26th of November as me filming this video, Australian time, so technically the 25th of November over there in the US compared to here where I live in Australia. Again, it's so much fun working on this case when I don't have access to a lot of the documents over there. Anyway, again, I will go in depth with all this in my next video on Luigi Mangione with all the updates and all that. This is just me going over the rumors and all that in Luigi Mangione's case that have been happening over the last month or so. This video will be a little bit different compared to all my other videos where I show you guys the facts and then I break it down for you guys and then we move on to another topic or another thing, but this will be a little bit different just because again we're talking about gossip and all that in this video. This video will probably be max around like maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes long max compared to my other videos where they're like an hour, 3 hours, 4 hours. Sorry about that. This will be a little bit different compared to my other videos on this channel, but I do feel like it's necessary for me to pop in and talk about this. And if there's anything I got wrong or anything like that, please let me know in the comments down below and I'll sure to bring up in my next video or I'll pin it in the comments down below. Again, I am one person working on all these videos. There is no team behind this. And normally in this little part of the video I would say all the sources and all that in this week's video will be up on the website, but just because I'm talking about rumors and gossip and people that doing this for attention, I'm not going to be doing that in this week's video. just because it's literally giving those people what they want. They want the attention, they want the clicks, they want the internet clout. So I'm not going to be doing that, but I will be linking all the evidence disproving a lot of these theories up on the website, so you guys can go see the actual evidence showing, disproving all the bullshit that have been coming out from people in this case, and compared to like giving the people that are making this shit up what they want, that is attention, money, clout, etc. So that would be up on the website, or the actual factual information on this case and disproving all that, that'll be up on the website compared to the rumors and all that. Now, let's get into the video. And sad fact is, when we don't really hear much from Luigi Mangione's legal team, a lot of this kind of stuff runs wild. Because, again, people are thirsty for Luigi Mangione. They want more Luigi because they think he is a very attractive man. Yes, he is a handsome man, but he is a real human being. There's more to him behind how he looks. And sad fact is, a lot of people just pay attention to this case just because of how Luigi Mangione looks, and not because of anything else going on in this case. And I've said this multiple times in my other videos, people need to see that kind of stuff and think more literally, and literally do a little bit more research than just like 2 swipes on TikTok, short, reels, whatever, anywhere with this kind of stuff, compared to like just taking it as face value. And again, like I mentioned before, this stuff pops up a lot more compared to like this kind of stuff pops up a lot more and people run with it because we don't hear that much from Luigi Mangione's legal team because, you know, they're busy doing stuff, compared to like when we do hear stuff. It doesn't happen as much. It does happen, but not as frequently. When we don't hear much from his legal team, a lot more of this stuff comes out. Now, like if you guys remember a couple of months ago where this guy came out and said he was at MDC and said he met Luigi and said a bunch of things about Luigi. A lot of people liked that and took it as fact and then ran with it, compared to actually digging into it and looking into it more and seeing if he was telling the truth or not. And I'm quite surprised not many people dug into it. Again, it was around the time there wasn't much coming out from Luigi Mangione's legal team, and people again wanted more Luigi, don't we all? And one thing I do want to note here is this isn't me like bashing on Stephanie Sue or Rotten Mango or anything like that. I do like her stuff. She does a lot of great research. She has quite a big channel. But my little problem with this is she did bring up on her second video on Luigi Mangione, I brought it up in one of my videos, played that clip from the guy who allegedly met Luigi Mangione at MDC, and she did say alleged and all that, but I still didn't really like, she used his video and talked about it and brought up in the video, talking about and kind of making it sound like it was fact when that guy could be making up shit for internet clout. Something that isn't factual whatsoever in a video that could be factual compared to like other things she's done, if that makes sense. Again, this isn't me bashing her or anything like that. We're moving on of my little tangent about that. Again, this isn't me bashing on her. She does a lot of great work. Again, she's one of the people who can actually go to Luigi Mangione's court hearing compared to me. So again, it's a lot better compared to what me. I would if I could, if that makes sense. I would definitely go to Luigi's court hearings and make these videos, but I can't. I live on the other side of the world compared to this. Enough me rambling, we're moving on. I just wanted to note that here. Also, sorry if I'm like a little bit rusty. I've literally not done this in like 3 weeks, and I realize I hate not doing this. Like, I'm probably gonna do this until I die. I'm just gonna be here in front of a bookshelf until I'm like 85 with my 5 dogs. So be prepared for me to not leave ever, unless I get extremely burnt out and then not come back for a couple of months like my other channels. Sorry. I will come back and do vlogs again one day. Okay, now we're moving on from me yapping about random things. and that bird has an opinion about me talking. It's telling me to move on. And I won't be showing you guys any of the photos, news clips, news articles, etc. in this video, because again, it is literally giving people what they want, because again, they want the attention, they want the clicks, they want more people to buy whatever of them using Luigi Mangione's name for clout, attention, etc. again, and then them not caring about Luigi Mangione whatsoever. But I will explain the best of my ability, but I will show you guys of the proof of people just claiming things in this video that are obviously fake and not true, from the grifters, from the people using Luigi Mangione's name for money and all that in this video. But I won't be showing you guys the photos, videos, etc. because again, it's literally giving people what they want, and I don't want to give them what they want, and you guys should do the same. And I mentioned this on my social medias, and I did talk about that briefly, saying, hey, don't go watch this video, it's just someone cloud chasing, or hey, don't go read this book, it's people just using Luigi Mangione's name for money, it's not even about him whatsoever. But I don't think many people saw that, still read the book or watched the video and all that, because again, not many people follow me on my social medias. Please go follow me on there. That's where I'm doing a lot of little updates and stuff on Luigi Mangione's case when I'm not doing this. So again, go follow me on there. So now we are moving on to like basically what the rumors are and gossip, and I will try my best to describe what these things are as best of my abilities to basically you guys understand the situation. And some of these things I am going to bring up, they do kind of intertwine with each other. So one thing bleeds into another thing, and then another thing bleeds into another. So all of these kind of like intertwine, funnily enough. The first story was basically a couple of weeks ago. An article came out basically talking about when Luigi Mangione was in Asia, when he was on holiday last year, where he got beaten up by some ladyboys. And I know a little bit about the situation. So basically Luigi Mangione went to go buy some drinks, then they tried to overcharge him, and he wouldn't do that, he would just pay the regular price for the drinks, and then they beat him up because of it. Again, it's a common scam I heard in Asia, and some of the articles say it was in Thailand, other articles say it was in a different part of Asia, and I did briefly see a screenshot of a message about this when this all came out, posted on Reddit, so to take it with a little bit of skepticism. Again, internet, people can make up shit all the time, but there was a photo of the scratches on Luigi Mangione's arm of after he was beaten up by some ladyboys. It doesn't say exactly how many, but it was more than one. I did briefly read the screenshot of the message, and the rough breakdown of it was Luigi Mangione was beaten up by some ladyboys, and it did come out like the person who Luigi Mangione was messaging wasn't really taking the situation seriously, when literally being beaten up in a foreign country would be fucking terrifying for like anyone, no matter what gender you are, especially by a group of people. Now, this bleeds into the next thing I'm going to talk about. So there was a news clip, there was a news interview by a guy who said they met Luigi Mangione when he was in Asia, and now this bleeds into the next thing I'm going to be talking about. There was a news interview, I did make a post about this saying, hey, and then after this Ladyboy story came out, there was a lot of things floating around talking about why Luigi Mangione was at a bar allegedly. And then after this news article about Luigi Mangione being beaten up by ladyboys, there was a lot of things floating around surrounding the ladyboys and why Luigi Mangione was there. Some people say they were prostitutes, some people say they weren't. Again, it was a whole thing. There was a funny little joke thrown in there where Luigi Mangione allegedly said he would pay things with Pokemon cards. If he did say that, that's kind of funny. But again, allegedly, a lot of rumors surrounding this, and that happened in that span of that week. A lot of things were just floating around that week after that article came out talking about Luigi Mangione being beaten up by ladyboys when he was in Asia. This bleeds into the next thing I'm going to be talking about. So there was a news interview with one of the guys Luigi Mangione met when he was in Asia. The text message, I think, was from that guy's friend, not from that person who did the interview with the news person, whoever, interviewer, there we go, from the interviewer. And I actually watched this video. I did make a post about it saying please do not go watch this video. It's just a person cloud chasing and trying to use Luigi Mangione's likeness to get attention. Hopefully he got a fucking pretty penny to sell out Luigi Mangione like he fucking did. I hope it was worth it. I am not turning down my swearing in this. If I sound monotoned, I am exhausted from life today, so sorry the hyper sarcasm is not at full blast today. The guy did say things that could affect Luigi Mangione's case in a big way, and I hope that guy selling Luigi Mangione out for a fucking pretty penny was fucking worth it. The guy did mention in the interview he was not contacted by police, detectives whatsoever for information in this entire case. The only people that have been reaching out to him and his friend that were news networks and reporters about this kind of stuff. Again, those people only care about gossip and all that. And the reason why I mentioned his friend is you guys probably seen the picture where there is a screenshot from a GoPro from that guy's friend, and again, the guy was just wearing the GoPro walking around. Is what you do with GoPros. And there is a screenshot of Luigi Mangione standing there with a water bottle, I think. Again, there's rumors surrounding around where that thing was at. Again, it bleeds into the Ladyboy thing. And then he also briefly brings up in the interview about the Ladyboy story, again, saying Luigi Mangione was beaten up by some ladyboys. Hi, it's voiceover me. So one thing I do want to add here is I totally forgot to add this when I was filming this video. It's very likely the guy in the interview very much read the Ladyboy story before he did this interview and just like pretended he was a part of it or his friend was a part of it, because again, the Ladyboy story was very much kind of a big thing, and it's very likely he already read it compared to like being part of the situation or his friend being part of the situation. It very much came off like that when I watched the interview, where he was kind of like not talking about it like he was a part of it, but then also he was saying his friend Luigi Mangione was messaging, not him himself, if that makes sense. Again, do not go watch the interview, you're just giving the news network what they want. I do think I should add this here, I very much got that feeling. He just read the Ladyboy story and pretended he was a part of it, or he knew about the story in person, or his friend knew about it in person, because again, it was very much the Ladyboy story came out a week beforehand. I just thought I should add this here. Anyway, bye. So the only people that were reaching out to those two guys were literally reporters, and the guy with the GoPro was the person Luigi Mangione was messaging, allegedly. Again, we don't have any evidence saying it was him he was messaging, it was just what the guy said in the interview. So the reporter was 100% trying to push the words Luigi Mangione did mention Brian Thompson's name into that guy's mouth she was interviewing, and like she did it so many times. Again, fucking infuriating shit. That guy was 100% just cloud chasing, doing it for attention, and I was quite surprised when I saw the video. Like, when a bunch of people were coming out talking about Luigi Mangione, like his friends allegedly, and like his landlord from Hawaii, that more happened near the start of this year and near the end of last year, when this was still very much a big thing and everyone was talking about it, compared to like now, where it's near the end of the year. A couple of days after that news interview dropped, and everyone was so fucking pissed about that on the internet, like fuck that guy, hope it was worth it. And a journalist came out saying he interviewed him and he confirmed Luigi Mangione never mentioned Brian Thompson's name whatsoever. And again, it was very much the news interviewer pushing that in the interview. If you go watch it, do not go watch it, please. You're just giving the news people what they want. But it was very much You could tell in the interview, and I think I made a comment about that, and then people were like, no. Again, a lot of Luigi Mangione haters love that shit and eat it up. So please do not go watch that interview. I made a post about that on my social medias about that, and it wasn't true whatsoever. Now, we are moving on to the next thing now. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about, there was a grifter who said they were in the same cell as Luigi Mangione at MDC. Now, there is a interview video about this person talking shit about Luigi Mangione. Please don't send it to me. I've not watched it, but some people have told me what was in the video, and basically it was a person just saying a bunch of shit about Luigi Mangione, and then also talked shit about Karen Arcafillo, and that's a step too far. Now, this person very much was just doing it for clout and wanting attention and all that. Now, if you actually look into this story, it didn't really make any sense. There was also a photo floating around with Luigi Mangione and then some other people at MDC. Again, take this photo with a little bit of skepticism. I'm not going to show you, but there is a person in a wheelchair where Luigi Mangione is standing behind them, and apparently the grifter said they were that person and they were sharing the top bunk in Luigi Mangione's cell. And if you guys think about that for a little bit longer, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would someone in a wheelchair be on a top bunk? It would be a lot more reasonable and understandable for them to be on the bottom bunk instead of being on the top bunk, unless they have extreme arm strength for them to climb up, because, you need your legs to go on a top bunk climbing a ladder. I know that. I've had bunk beds. I slept on the top bunk as a bunk bed, so I can confirm you need your legs to climb up onto a bunk bed. So when I first heard that, it's like, things aren't adding up. Like, again, people just needed to think a little bit more literally about this, and I'm pretty sure if Luigi Mangione was in a cell with someone with a wheelchair, I'm pretty sure Luigi Mangione would not let them, take the top bunk. I feel like he's a nice enough person to, not let a disabled person climb their way up to sleep at night. I'm pretty sure Luigi would have done that, trade places. Again, the holes weren't adding up in their story. And a couple of days later, a Redditor did some digging into this, and basically, the Redditor proved this person was not at MDC at the exact same time as Luigi Mangione. This person was at MDC in 2023, not at MDC in 2024 or 2025, where Luigi Mangione is currently. So again, this person was making this entire shit up, and I'm pretty sure this person was just doing it for fucking attention, and they must have seen the first guy who did the interview at the news network and must have thought, oh, they talked about some shit about Luigi Mangione and they didn't get any consequences. I can do the same thing too. I can get so many attention and followers and all that. So I'm so glad this Redditor came out and basically disproved everything that fucking person said, because honestly, it's fucking infuriating. Again, that literally came out the week after from that person who did the interview on the news network. Now, after all this, there was a statement made on Luigi Mangione's website written by Karen Arcafillo. It's not really in the statement bit, it's more so in the questions bit on the website, basically saying Luigi Mangione can't come out and defend himself and stop believing everything you see online from people that say they knew him when they definitely didn't, and all that. So again, I'll show you that later on in the video, but basically that's when that came out, when Luigi Mangione's legal team stepped up and talked about this, and I'm glad they did, because literally it was fucking running wild with this kind of stuff. Now we are going to be moving on to the next thing. So the next thing I'm going to mention, there was a book that was written by a journalist, and basically the journalist said it was about Luigi Mangione, and I did make a post about this saying please don't go read this, it's not about Luigi Mangione whatsoever. This person did not talk to Luigi Mangione whatsoever. They did not go talk to his family whatsoever. This book was written by a person who did not know Luigi Mangione whatsoever, and the disgusting thing is, they plastered Luigi Mangione's face on the front and also back of that book, and I did make a post about it saying, please don't go read this, you're just supporting someone who wants to profit off Luigi Mangione's name. And this, like, literally, I came across this on my TikTok like a day after it was released, and someone did read it and talked about saying, hey, don't read this. Basically, it was brought up in the book. A little bit was about Luigi Mangione. They did not talk to him whatsoever again. And then the next part of the book was about someone else. And then the rest of the book was about the journalists themselves. So again, please do not go read this book. Don't support this person. This person did not talk to Luigi Mangione whatsoever. They did not talk to his family whatsoever. It's very much like what all the documentaries that were coming out early this year and late last year, where again they did not talk to Luigi Mangione whatsoever, his family whatsoever, and they were again profiting off Luigi Mangione's name. But sadly, people went out and read the book anyway. Why? Just why? Don't support these people that are trying to profit off Luigi Mangione's name if you support him. And if there was an actual book written by Luigi Mangione, we would all be reading it and talking about it. I would have owned it already and I would have talked about the book. I would have had it on my shelf full of manga and art books. You guys can tell I'm a massive fucking nerd. Anyway, we would have known about it already if there was a book written by Mangione, so please don't go read it. Please don't support it whatsoever. It's fucking infuriating. But sadly, people did. Now, something came out after people read this book. And if you guys remember at the start of the video, I did briefly talk about the interview from Luigi Mangione's landlord in Hawaii. And I saw that video. He briefly mentioned Luigi Mangione didn't have much luck in his love life. But when I first heard that, I kind of assumed Luigi Mangione had 1 or 2 girlfriends in the past, but that means it wasn't 0, if that makes sense. Now, after those words were mentioned in that book, Luigi Mangione never had a girlfriend again. Now, after that was mentioned in the book, people went digging. There were photos that came out, and I'm not sure who posted these. I was fucking infuriated when I saw the photos, not because it was Luigi Mangione's ex. Again, I'm a grown-ass adult. Why would I need to be jealous of a woman who used to date a man? I'm a grown-ass adult. I'm surprised other women were jealous about that. And finding posts of him and his ex in Hawaii and then spreading the photos everywhere. And the thing that made me super fucking pissed about this, people did not blur her face whatsoever, and there's crazy fangirls out there, and I don't want that woman who used to date Luigi Mangione, and I don't want her to be harassed by people. I don't want her to be harassed by reporters. I don't want her to be in danger because people wanted to prove a fucking point. And I don't know who posted these. I don't know if it was her. I don't know if it was other people who went digging and found these. Again, why did they not fucking blur her face? I'm so concerned for her safety. I don't want her to be harassed, harmed, or anything like that. Because again, they're not dating anymore. I don't want people to harass her, and I don't want her to be in danger because there's crazy fucking people out there, and they could be jealous of her because she dated Luigi Mangione in the past, and they could go after her, and I don't want that to happen to her, okay? For dating a man at one point in time, okay? So I was screaming about this from the rooftops that day. It was a big thing on the internet for a day, thank God. And then someone posted something on Reddit talking about something that's 10 times more important, like jury selection. Thank God for that person. Thank you for talking about something way more important than Luigi Mangione's ex. Anyway, I hope that girl's okay. I hope she's not being harassed. I hope she's living her best life. Okay, again, please don't go after this woman. If you see people go after this woman, protect her. She doesn't deserve this, okay? She doesn't deserve to be harassed, attacked, or anything like that, because she used to date Luigi Mangione. I was screaming that from the rooftops. I was so pissed about that. So, again, if you guys saw me on Reddit, I feel like it won't be too hard to find me on Reddit. It won't be that hard. You can find me pretty easily on Reddit. I'm surprised people follow me on there. Did you know people can, like, follow you on Reddit? I didn't know that. People do. I'm like, I don't know what they see, but yeah, they must see all the weird shit I'm into, like bands and the Luigi Mangione. I've never been on Reddit more so in my life than on this case. It's the only place I can get a lot of these documents to make these videos. And I'm too poor to get a MDN right now. And I do want to say this, I find it absolutely disgusting. People feel like they have the right to know every single little piece of information in Luigi Mangione's life, like who he dated, where he worked, where he lived, and all that, and his high school, university, and all that. It's fucking disgusting for people feel like they have the right to know about that stuff when we absolutely don't. And I've said this multiple times in my videos. I refuse to go digging into Luigi Mangione's personal life because it's none of our business, and I at least want to be one of the people who is still trying to protect his personal life, because again, there's people out there in his personal life that are not involved with this whatsoever, and I don't want them to be harassed, attacked, or anything like that, because people are fucking mental. And again, I want to protect Luigi Mangione's personal life as much as possible compared to everyone else out there that feels like he doesn't have the right to have that whatsoever. And I made a joke about this in one of my first videos about Luigi Mangione, like, we're gonna learn about his blood type. I joked about that, but I feel like this might be a possibility soon, because literally the prosecutors have Luigi Mangione's full medical records, the massive fucking HIPAA violation that they got a slap on the wrist for, the federal crime. Anyway, I joked about that, but I feel like it could be a possibility one point. Like I mentioned in all my videos, please look into things a lot more and take things that you see online with a little bit of skepticism, because it is the internet, it's unregulated. Luigi Mangione's legal team can't pop up in here and say, hey, this shit isn't true, compared to like what the United States government can do, compared to like the internet. Luigi Mangione's legal team can step in and say, hey, they don't want to do this, compared to the internet. They have a little bit less control over that, if that makes sense. So I say that in my videos, like, I'm just giving you guys information, and I do make mistakes. So again, people are allowed to correct me and actually look into things a lot more compared to like just taking things at face value. People need to like learn to do that and do a lot more research and look into things more, a lot further than just 2 swipes on the internet and go, yes, this is fact, this fits with my views, and not actually looking into it. So again, people need to develop some literal thinking skills, and it's infuriating. There's a lot of people not, and it's dangerous to live that way. And I really want people to actually like see this kind of stuff and think more literally and have literal thinking skills with this kind of stuff, instead of just like running with whatever people say about Luigi Mangione because it fits of what they think about him or anything like that, because I haven't heard much about Luigi Mangione from his legal team or anything like that. And I really want people to actually see that stuff and not take it at face value and take it as fact, compared to like, because they haven't seen much from his legal team. And I get it, people are thirsty for Luigi Mangione, they want more Luigi Mangione, and they take whatever as fact when we don't hear that much from his legal team. When we don't hear much from his legal team, and then people start digging or start making shit up, and then people on the internet don't have time, or people just want attention. People just don't have literal thinking skills to actually look into these type of things further, or there's people out there that don't have the time to look into these things further and just see it and go, oh yeah, that seems like fact, and then and move on because, you know, they're busy with their lives. And I just really want people to have literal thinking skills when they see this kind of stuff and go, I should dig into that more and see if it's real or not, and take it as fact when it's absolutely not. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm surprised no one dug into, like, that guy who said they met Luigi Mangione at an MDC, where Luigi Mangione is currently, compared to, like, the Grifter, where someone went digging into that. I think there was just a way more people that believed that person because, again, they wanted Luigi and they wanted more information on Luigi Mangione, and they took that guy's stuff as fact. And in reality, who even fucking knows that guy went to NDC in the first place? He could be just some random guy talking about he went to prison at one point. Who even knows if he did? He's just making shit up. Again, I should go digging into that, but, like, I don't have the Redditor digging into skills like a lot of other Redditors. Again, I just want people to leave this video having more literal thinking skills and not taking things at face value and running with it because they haven't heard much about Luigi Mangione. I get it, you haven't heard much about him. I get it, you want to see more photos of him. Like, calm down, just wait, just watch edits of Luigi Mangione like the rest of us, okay? And then just wait for the legal documents from the legal team, okay? Like, that's the actual accurate information we have. Stop digging into his life. Like he mentioned in his letter, Luigi Mangione's family and personal life is none of our fucking business, and a lot of people are forgetting that. And people need to remember that his personal life is none of our fucking business, and people need to stop making up shit about Luigi Mangione for attention, clout, money, etc. He is a real human being, and it's disgusting of how far people will go just to make a pretty penny off Luigi Mangione's name. It's fucking disgusting. And I've seen this multiple times with other things, and I think it's absolutely disgusting. People are, like, trying to profit off people's suffering to make money. It's disgusting. I hate that. So I do want to leave off this video with this quote by Karen Arcafillo about this entire situation, and I feel like this relates to every other occasion where we've heard rumors, gossip, people wanting to use Luigi Mangione's name for money, or his face for money, or just wanting attention, or clout, etc. So this quote isn't just for what's happening here. This is definitely for, like, everything else we've heard in the past and also going forward in this case. So I'm going to put this up on screen for you guys. This is from Karen Arcafillo. This is a statement from her about this entire situation. So I'll pop it up on screen for you guys.
Multiple people are claiming to report their experiences with Luigi before and during his incarceration. How do I know if they are true? Numerous statements about Luigi circulating online and in the media have been filled with misleading characterizations and outright lies. These fabricated claims come from opportunistic individuals who are seeking to promote themselves at Mr. Mangione's expense. This represents part of a long-standing pattern of people seeking to grift off the attention on Luigi by attempting to speak on his behalf, spread beliefs he doesn't share, and malign him generally, during a time when he cannot speak for himself.
Okay, that's all I have to say about this video. I just want people to look into these type of things and just have some literal thinking skills. For the love of God, please. It's so goddamn dangerous if you don't. Like, I feel like the internet has rotted so many people's minds. Like, Jesus Christ, please have some literal thinking skills instead of taking things at face value. For the love of God, please. A lot of you are grown-ass adults. Like, what the hell? I'm 24 and I shouldn't be saying this. You need to have literal thinking skills. Anyway, before I get more mad about this kind of shit. But yeah, please leave this video with more literal thinking skills, and I want you to clear up the things if people weren't actually looking into things, because again, people weren't really talking more so about the disproof about the things that we're talking about. It just kind of blew over in a week and then, or a day or whatever, compared to, like, other things where the gossip and rumors did blow up. I wanted to talk about this and just please, for the love of God, don't look at things at face value and run with it. Please look into things more. again, look into things for more when I talk about things. Again, I'm just the messenger here. And yeah, that's what I just want to leave this video on, with that quote from Karen Ockerfellow. And I want people to leave this video with like more literal thinking skills and brought up the things that people that disproved about the gossip and rumors and all that, because again, that didn't blow up as much as the fucking bullshit that came out. Again, I won't make one of these videos ever again. Again, I don't want to talk about the gossip rumors surrounding Luigi Mangione's case. It's very much not what this channel is about, but I felt like I needed to step in and talk about this and disprove a lot of the stuff that have been coming out, just because it can affect Luigi Mangione's case in a big way. And again, sadly, not a lot of people will go digging into this kind of stuff or have time to do it because they're busy with their own personal lives and they don't have time to dig into the bullshit people are coming out and talking about and just take things at face value. Or sometimes people are just fucking stupid and just take things at face value because it fits whatever they think about Luigi Mangione and they don't actually go digging into it. It's infuriating. Again, with this kind of stuff, I would normally just ignore it. I advise you guys to ignore it and move on with your day instead of taking it at face value. That's what I leave off this video with. If you see any gossip or rumors with this kind of stuff, just move on with your day. Just ignore it. It will blow over in a couple of days. And I feel like that needs to be with fucking everything, not just in this case in particular. So I will come back making videos with our regular programming of Requiro. Again, I still just need to organize stuff in my own life, but I will come back covering Luigi Mangione's case and updates and all that. My next video will probably just be the motion by the prosecutors, just because of like how big the document is and everyone's dreading to read it just because of how big it is. It's so daunting. So I will make that video in the next couple of days and probably make it a bonus video or not, depends. And again, I will cover Luigi Mangione's case. Again, his next court appearance is on December 1st, 2025. So probably after that, I'll come in and do the updates and all that on Luigi Mangione's case. Thank you for watching this week's video. You can subscribe if you want to. It's okay if not. I upload every week, sometimes 3 times a month, except this month. I'm taking this month off to organize in my own life. Again, it's life, it happens. I don't have a team behind this. It takes me a while to make these videos, again with all the research, editing, etc. and all that. So again, I will come back for our regular schedule Requiro stuff soon. Now, if you guys want to keep up to date with the channel, you can follow the channel's social medias. That's where I'm lately doing a lot more updates and little things like this. Not really like reels or anything like that. I just do little posts of like updates on Luigi Mangione's case and other things going on in the world on there, so go ahead, follow me on there if you guys want to keep up to date with the channel and little things and all that. And if you guys want to follow me personally, all of my social medias are down below if you guys want to follow me on there. Thank you for watching this week's video. I will be back soon, I promise. I won't do what I've done with my other channels where I leave for a while and not come back. I do enjoy making these. Again, I will try to go back and make things for my other videos eventually. One day I'll come back soon for my other stuff, but again, I'll be back soon. Thank you for watching this week's video. Bye.